I'm not sure it matters too much. I guess a log cabin is maybe cozier,
Yeah.
like it's got thicker walls or whatever.
But do we want that? You know?
Uh, it could be cool. It'd give more surface for like moss and stuff to be on.
I think it'd be different a little
Yeah,
bit, maybe.
it would make it very clearly not a shed
Yeah.
because
hmm
you don't build sheds like you build log cabins.
It would be more like a home, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay. I gotta look at what the walls look like. How do they join at each end? They're like intersected, right?
I think so. It probably depends on the log cabin whether it's like. I feel like traditional log cabins probably are, and then the new ones are like they just stick the walls together and then glue them or something.
Yeah.
I don't pretend to be a cabin expert.
You don't have a log cabins in the UK too much?
I mean, I visited them. I can't say I paid close attention to the corners.
I thought log cabins were only like a strictly an American slash Canadian thing.
No, because we have shitloads of forests, so there's like entire holiday camps and destinations that are just like lots of log cabins scattered throughout a forest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you go stay, like you and your family or whoever group of friends would stay in like a cluster of a couple of cabins,
Yeah.
and like plenty of space for like bike rides through the forest and whatever else.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
How chunky are we thinking the logs in this log cabin?
Well, I'm making him not too chunky. Like, I don't know. I feel like if I make him too chunky, it's gonna be absurd a little bit, no?
Yeah, because there's log cabins that are like the I don't know 20, 30 centimeter diameter logs, and then there's log cabins that are basically built tree trunks.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to find a way to be like a lazy cookie about this, you know?
I,
And
I, I don't know how that applies to the logs.
well, cause like doing the pattern of like interlocking logs, I'm just gonna do like three, and I'm gonna copy paste. You know what I mean? And then I'll edit
Oh, I
them
see.
after, you know?
Hmm.
So this way, and then I'm gonna add the moss at the very end, you know, to like age it and everything. This is by
Gotcha.
far one of the more complex backgrounds I think we're gonna have in the game, just
Yeah.
because of the nature of it, you know.
That log pile there, can we replace it with the herb garden thing?
Well, I think that it's okay to have log there because it's also on the minimap, but the garden can be in the front here. Like there's lots of room. Like I could put lots here, you know.
I guess. But did you see the pictures I posted?
Yeah. Uh huh.
Yeah, like on shelves and stuff, rather
Yeah.
than like an actual garden patch. Oh, I
Yeah.
see what you mean.
Yeah.
I'm now seeing where you were drawing on stream, like a minute ago.
Oh. Yeah.
These conversations are always so weird when you're talking about what you're doing
just
now,
just
30
your
seconds in the
UK
future.
connections, you know.
I'm pretty sure everyone on the stream has similar lag. I don't think
Not
it matters
according
where
to
you are.
Picardo. Not according to Yeah, I mean we can do that. Sure. Do you want both of them to be bigger, kind of thing?
No, the smaller one is fine on the other side.
Yeah.
But it's
I
nice
can
to
make
just
it
step on it
higher
so
if
you
you
can
want.
see it.
It could be raised and have like another layer in front of it, maybe. Kind of.
Oh yeah, that could be good.
I mean, if the witch has lots of like her herbs, she's probably gonna have a few, yeah, things like that. Okay. Um, the door is a bit complicated. I'm just gonna do one thing at a time. Like start with the roof. This is gonna be it. You know. Okay, if it's a log, then we're gonna put a big ass log like sticking out maybe here. Maybe like with some carvings in it.
Do you think the roof could have like a skylight?
I think it can have a hole in the middle where the cauldron is.
Oh, I was thinking this cauldron would just be in the fireplace, so that would use the chimney.
Okay, but why do you want a skylight? Like just a hole in the roof?
Just to let like sunlight in and stuff, because the windows are pretty small. She grows plants inside.
Yeah, but if it's a witch's house, don't you want that thing to be somewhat dim lighted? Dim lit? No, kind of like you want it to.
I know what you're saying, but it's not.
I'm not
Not
saying
like
she's like an
dark
evil,
witch.
super evil witch,
No,
but
I know what you're
still,
saying.
she's.
Like the way Sploosh described it when we were talking about it was she's almost druid-like, because she's very into nature and the plants and stuff. And so having the sunlight so she can grow stuff inside would work. It's not necessary, but if it fits.
I'm trying to think how we can make that work. Uh,
Like it doesn't have to be a magical skylight or whatever, just a normal window in the roof or something. So we can get like, when you do the inside for the daytime, we could have like god rays, because that'd be cool.
okay, so the only thing with this, right, is that it's an old cabin, right? Like when you say a skylight, I think like a well-made, like actual, like a skylight for this is a hole in the roof. You know, it's not like a skylight you see on a modern house that's built yesterday. Like it's like an old
Yeah,
roof. There's
it,
like it's overgrown. I'm trying to think of what a skylight would look like, and to me, it's just a hole in the ceiling. Like
I was thinking maybe just one, like the windows you have, but larger and set into the roof, and then they'd be slightly like mossy and overgrown sort of thing, but still letting the light in.
yeah,
But you just need one on the left. Like it wouldn't have to be symmetrical or anything.
like just a hole like this, and then there's like an actual window in there,
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
like this. in the crescent in the windows and in the door and the side of the wall here?
Oh, is it moon related?
I don't know,
I thought
kind of.
I, I mean, it was a cool shape.
Yeah, it's like an upside down moon, I guess, or tilted. I don't know.
It definitely
Since there
fits the
might be
door.
some moon
And it
elements in the story, you know what I mean?
falls centrally. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, sorry. What are I saying? Moon? What? Um. Okay, and then the door will be inside of that. Like maybe there's like a branch that like because this was built so long ago that the tree had time to like grow through the house kind of thing, and it's just left that way because well she's a witch, she doesn't care.
Hmm.
So I don't know how we would do that, but maybe there's a way to make it that look cool. I don't know. It's an idea.
Yeah, I like that. The only bit I'm not sold on at the moment is the door because it looks a bit odd.
What do you mean?
Like it feels too grand for the cottage.
Yeah, but it's a witch's door.
Yeah, but it's more like I don't know. I'm trying to think of a way to describe it. In my head, it's like almost like a rundown greenhouse, but not a greenhouse. It's like still a house.
I don't know. I like the round door. I think it's different.
I don't mind it, but I'm not sure I like the pagoda thing over it.
What if we made it a regular door, but oval at the top instead of a round door?
What if it was a round door, but it had like a thick frame that is also round, rather than the two posts on either side?
Oh, the post is what's bothering you?
I think so. Yeah, because I think it's the round door inside the square shape that looks a bit weird.
I mean, we could just do a round, like top of the door like this instead, if you want. You know?
You know the one you showed me?
Yeah.
Because the frame for that is like big and chunky and follows the shape of the door.
Yeah.
Like that'd be cool.
Yeah, except if I do that, I mean, there's not a lot of space for that.
Yeah.
Like, just because it's not like a really wide location. if I do a round door with a thick frame, it's like, then it's almost even more imposing. Like it's gonna take like the whole facade of the house. I don't know. I'm trying to think, maybe the round door is not the thing to go here. But I wouldn't mind a round top to match the awning kind of thing, right? Like we could do just something simple like this. And it works perfectly fine. Yeah, we could do something like that.
Brunch says the door looks like a cork in the wall.
A cork?
I think that's when it was slightly rounder and like as if it was trying to pop out of the woodwork.
Oh. The door doesn't open, it sucks you in. Oh boy.
Yikes.
Maybe? I'm scared that this whole roof thing with the branch sticking out will feel like, right now, it feels like the tree's growing inside of the house.
I think maybe you'd see the branches on the inside, but like just along the roof.
Yeah, but from the outside, it looks like the tree's growing inside the house, is what I'm saying. Like,
oh, as in out from inside.
yeah. Which I think is a bit too extreme. So, like, I don't know.
I guess if you, when you do the inside, like if the trunk was just, you could see it in the back wall, but it wasn't imposing into the house. Maybe. I don't know.
A roof fixing minigame to fix the damn place. maybe. Should there be something on that wall here? Like it's
Which
just.
wall? The side wall.
I mean, there could just be like vines. You know, sometimes like things like crawl up the walls.
Ah, yeah, the side wall of the logs.
Yeah, like here, like you could have like something growing. Just to make it interesting, otherwise it's just logs, like clean logs, you know? Like if it's really overgrown, then it would have probably like some kind of vines like growing up it.
Yeah, I think just like, because everything's going to be a bit overgrown when you're done painting it, so yeah, I think that's probably enough. I don't think it needs like actual things there. If that makes sense.
Hey Raj. What kind of cage are we talking about here?
Oh, I don't know. That's all you and Sploosh. But I guess.
I mean, you could just stick like with a basic iron cage, but I'm just wondering if there's something else we could do here, you know?
I think a basic iron cage works. I don't know. I definitely don't think it should be like any sort of elaborate cage.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's not like a pet cage or anything like that. It's literally a like you're not going anywhere cage.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna have the trunk here.
Morph says the cage should be one that fits the size of small children for the witch's meals, like for Hansel and Gretel.
We can go dark, I guess. We can go pretty dark.
I mean, that's kind of the size you already got it, which I think makes sense for what's going to be in it.
Is the witch cutting the wood?
I guess so. Like, there's no one else here that's going to be chopping the firewood.
Like, if she's a witch, it doesn't mean she's weak, necessarily, right? She could, like, you know.
Like, she's outdoorsy, so.
Yeah.
That said, I have tried to chop wood with an axe. God damn, that is deceptively difficult.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I guess it depends on the wood, but...
I think it depends on how sharp your axe is.
It does, but like I've had a sharp axe and then gone to chop the wood and just like got the axe embedded in the wood to the point where I'm like struggling to get the axe back out.
Yeah, If your wood is really dry and your axe is sharp, it cuts pretty easily. I've cut some wood before and it was not that bad.
Maybe it wasn't dry,
Mm.
like dry to the touch, but not like actually dried out, perhaps.
Does it have a door? Like, how does it open?
I imagine one entire side is a door.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if you basically have it like a cube, like you've got, and then on the front corner there's a padlock or whatever,
Like,
and then that
oh,
side swings open.
like here there's a pad? Yeah. I see
It
what you
wouldn't be
mean.
very interactable, but like you'd exit the cave and you'd be on the back side of the river almost, and then from there you'd spot the cabin in the distance. You'd click it, and then you'd walk past along a path that leads down the side of the cave from the river to here,
Yeah.
and then the path back to the river would be like the path down the side of the cage, and then
Okay.
from there you'd be able to see both the cabin and the cave and go back in the cave.
Yeah.
Because then it feels a bit more explory when you're like out of the cave and you're like, oh, what's on this side? And then you have to explore a bit before you get directly to the cabin.
So the witch poops in here, right?
I believe that was the intent. I don't know if. I guess that would make sense because like that's a one-room cottage, right? You're not
Yeah.
going to have a partition toilet, so either you're cooking where you're pooping or you're pooping in the outhouse.
There's
So I think that
definitely
probably makes
no.
sense.
Yeah, there's no washroom in that that house.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you've got to poop out here. You've
Yeah, the,
got
the
to.
only option for bathing in there is like you fill the cauldron with water, heat it up a bit, and then sit in it.
someone someone messaged me. You know, with a witch, you could have her sell MC potions. One could be like shrinking potion, allowing the MC to sneak into girls' homes and set up cameras connected to his computer.
Wow, that is an elaborate update waiting to happen.
I mean, yeah, we could do that. I guess.
what Sploosh was thinking for the other stuff we want to do in the cave. So it might need a bit more space than, because the one that we have at the moment is kind of very corridor-like. So if it led to like a bigger space in the cave, that might be like your intermediate step before.
For some of the background trees, like so I don't have to repaint like 1,000 things.
Yeah. Are the god rays baked in?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably your biggest issue with reusing the song.
What did you expect, Stray? Silly Stray.
Yeah.
I might have Like like some TV shows or some kind of like some podcasts or some people are like popular or famous because people hate them so much. You know what I mean?
I can, I guess I understand why that might be the perspective for like what gets promoted about Iceland, but I figure there must be like forests there.
See, you
Must
don't
be.
even know. See, you're having my moment. If there's someone from Iceland right now and you're like, I don't know, they would be laughing at you like, of course we have so many forests. You'd be like, really? It's like me in the UK.
Yeah, there's loads of evergreen forests there.
Iceland is
Like,
pretty full of trees, are they? See, I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know anything.
I did have a friend from Iceland, and although I've never visited them, like they were talking about this one particular thing, and so I was basically trying to find out what the journey looked like on Google Maps to
Yeah,
kind of match up with what they were saying.
yeah,
And I swear the entire route was just like it was along the coast, so I guess that makes sense. It was far away from trees,
yeah.
but there was no like noticeable trees. It was all like very windswept open plains and stuff.
Like UK wilderness, right? I think of like this, you know? Like, is there a lot of trees there? Some, like at the base, a little bit. They're very like whimsy and like very, they're not very like big trees, you know. So I'm trying to think like, would there be a log cabin in this landscape? I'm like, nah, there wouldn't, right? That's what I
Oh yeah,
imagine in my head, right? But obviously I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong, but can you blame me? Like I think, and I'm like, I don't think there's, you know, right?
but
You know what I
that's like
mean?
massive scale. So if there were log cabins, they'd be like 3 pixels at the bottom of the greenery on the lake edge, like not halfway up a mountainside. You know?
Okay, but you know what I mean. This is my perspective. Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah, yeah, I get what you're saying. Like there are plenty of areas like that where it's all just like um, bracken and stuff on the side of giant hills and mountains.
Yeah, yeah,
But there's also there are still like hills and mountains that are just basically covered by forests.
yeah,
I mean, they don't hold a candle to like if you see some of the shots of like Germany's forests, which are
yeah,
like entire mountain ranges just covered in trees, like
yeah,
nothing quite that extreme,
yeah,
but like tiny patches of that sort of stuff.
yeah, yeah. Like I'm gonna show you a picture. Like I don't see a log cabin there. You know what I mean? I can't picture it. Like it just I just don't see it, guys. Look at the Sherwood Forest in Robin Hood. Yeah, but I thought it was always made up. Like I was like, they don't have forests like that.
No, Sherwood Forest is a real place. They have log cabins there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They, do you guys have the holiday park? So it's like they build a giant glass dome, and then the entire inside is like a tropical water park, and they just put it in the middle of a forest surrounded by log cabins.
Oh, okay. No, I did not. No, I don't know.
Because those are pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen that. Sounds pretty crazy. DC is being geography racist. If there is such a thing. Maybe. I don't know. Perhaps I'm completely wrong about all of this. Okay, it's fine.
There's also somewhere on the south coast called the New Forest, and they have like a whole bunch of trees, log cabins in the trees, and then they have like just wild ponies that just roam around that entire. Not, I think it might be a national park,
Isn't that
but there's
kind of
just lots of wild
dangerous?
ponies there. Oh yeah, like the speed limit, like when you're driving around there, is like intentionally low because there's just like ponies everywhere.
Mm.
I think the entire thing is between 5 and 10 mile an hour zone. It takes forever to go anywhere.
What is it called? That school in that book? Hogwarts. Hogwarts.
Uh,
Wait, I think I asked you that before. Like, what kind of school you went to? If you went to like a private school, you said a public school, but you wore uniforms, right?
yeah, but that's because everywhere wears uniforms. Like, it's rare to find a school in the UK where they're not doing uniforms.
Mm.
But like the building I went to school in was definitely like it was not one building, but it's like more like a mini campus. Like it definitely wasn't university scale or anything close, but it was like very like it was like a bunch of different buildings, all quite old. It wasn't one of the like new purpose built schools that were built in like the last 50 years. This would have been like 100 years old, I guess.
Mm.
And like a lot of the stuff in the school, while probably not that old, you could imagine it was. Like all the desks were like the old wooden flip-up ones. They weren't like the new plastic ones with metal legs that you get most places.
Yeah.
So, no, it wasn't Hogwarts, but it was probably one of the schools closer to than average.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I did go to a few schools where the desks were like the old wooden desks
Mm-hmm.
that you lift up from the end of it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and like some of them still have like inkwells and stuff in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had those. I think we're showing our age.
Uh-oh.
Well, you're showing that you're from the UK. I'm showing my age.
Drill. It's typical for nursery and reception. Definitely nursery. Reception's a bit iffy. That would be years 3 through 5 to not do uniforms. But when you hit what's called year 1, which is basically, I think, when kids are 5 or 6, from then up till the age of 16, 17, it's basically all uniforms, and then out that get picked on and like marginalized and stuff.
But I don't
Whereas
think
it happens here, but it's less common because it's less clear.
I think that's assuming that kids are dumb and they can't tell when someone is from a poor family or not. Like, I don't know. I
It's
don't know.
not.
I don't think it
It's
works,
not
but
a. It's not so much about being dumb. It's that when you're in uniform from such a young age, it's normal for everyone to just be in uniform to the point where you stop noticing that everyone's in uniform, right? So you almost pay less attention to what people are wearing because there's never this, oh, what are people wearing? I have to make sure I'm not wearing the same thing, or it's cool, or it's hip, or it's the latest fashion, or whatever. Because regardless, everyone wears the same thing, so it just becomes this non-issue.
yeah, maybe. I smell welfare? Wait, that's me. I smell welfare. Uh,
Yeah, like
is there a thing like that in the UK called welfare? Like when you're on yeah, welfare, like government
uh,
assisted income?
yes, it used to be named all sorts of different things. I'm not entirely familiar with the system, but I know they've reformed it to call it universal credit now, which in theory encompasses most stuff that used to be individual benefits.
Hmm.
And then there's also additional stuff like I think like the housing allowance, and
Hmm.
there's something based on how many kids you have and stuff like that,
Hmm. Yeah,
designed to
like
like
we
make
get
sure that you have enough to support your family through like their education and stuff.
yeah, like no matter the income, like where I live, no matter the income, you get money from having kids.
Mhm.
Um, but then there's other programs that like help you in other ways than that. Like if you have kids, like for daycare, for example, you can get depending on your income, the government will pay a part of the daycare. You know what I mean?
I can't imagine that doesn't exist, but I've never had cause to use it.
Yeah.
And then there's like all the non-governmental stuff, like food banks and stuff like that, to
Yeah,
help
there's tons of
like
those
families
here.
that are like basically destitute.
Yeah, there's tons of those here, and like even the school that our kids go to, sometimes they have announcements where they ask the families to, if they have like extra food or canned food, or they want to bring like things for poor families to like drop them off at the school at a certain place, and we do all the time. Like we drop off stuff all the time.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's even just like soap or like stuff like that. You know?
Yeah, that's the other thing they do with uniforms in some schools is they'll ask like when your kids are leaving that school if you like happy to not have the uniform anymore, if you'd consider
Uh,
donating it so like poorer families can like have hand me downs effectively.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Non-perishable, perishables. Yeah.
Yeah.
If your income is too low, the state will pay all of it. Yeah, like for daycare, the state will pay the majority of it if you're poor. Yeah, like, I think like
Oh, Great
almost all of
Galaxy.
it.
Great Galaxy is asking what I know about leaving the oven door open just to heat the house. I can't say I've ever done it to heat the house itself, but I've definitely left the oven open and then just lain on my back on the kitchen floor to put my feet inside. It's so good.
What? Why?
Because my feet were cold.
Okay, but turn on the heat. What's wrong with you?
Oh no, but it'd be like after I finish cooking something, I open the oven and take it out, but the
Yeah.
oven's lovely and toasty. It's just like, oh, I'm just gonna put my
Oh.
feet in there for a few minutes.
Okay, but my point still stands. Like, just turn on the heat of the place. Like, my goodness.
But it's never gonna get as warm as inside an oven.
Well, okay. Wear more clothes? Like, I don't know. I've
Yeah,
never
but
had the urge of doing that. Let's just say that. Okay.
it's not to keep them like completely warm. It's just that you know when you go to like a hot foreign country and you walk along the beach and the sand is warm.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't want your feet that warm all the time, but it's pleasant to walk down the beach with them being that warm. Kind of like that.
Guess.
Because if they were that warm all the time, you'd just sweat all the time, and that'd be horrible.
Yeah.
Look, when you're a student and the heating is like, well, you can eat or you can heat your house, and then you've just cooked something, it seems a waste to not do it, okay? Don't judge me.
Fine. Whatever. All right. Well, you know, that and the hammocks, right? Hey, Jab.
Look, this coming from the guy that microwaves his apples, so don't knock it till you tried.
Sure. I'm not knocking it. I just don't think I'll ever try because I don't need it. But that's fine. What we have around here too is it's not really like government run or anything. It's more like on Facebook we have a buy nothing group. It's called or whatever.
Hmm.
So it's people that, like you said, hand me downs or things like that, or things that people thought they were gonna need but they don't, and you can like share with people in your neighborhood.
Oh, so it's like charitable eBay?
Yeah. It's things that are free that you don't need anymore, or people, and there's like two pages or something. I don't have Facebook. My mom has it, so she's more on it than I do. But like one page is to offer things for free that people might want, and one is to request. Like, do you have this? Anyone have any of this? So, for example, like kids grow out of shoes really quickly. You know what I mean? Like really quickly. Like within 6 months, they might not fit in the shoes that you just bought. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So people are like, oh, barely used rain boots for that my 4-year-old wore for like 3 months and doesn't fit them anymore. Anyone want them? They're almost brand new, right? And someone will be like, oh, I have a 3-year-old at home who needs rain boots. I was gonna go buy some, but since you have them, I'll pick them up and take them. You know what I mean? So they give the
Yeah.
DM like a message, and then they give the address and like, hey, come by. I'll leave them outside my porch. You can come and get it at whenever you want this afternoon, right? And people go and they pick it up. So that's pretty cool. Like people do that. Actually, I used that page or whatever recently because I wanted to do chocolate banana bread. I was craving it, so I wanted to make some, and I needed over ripened bananas, but we only had two, and I needed like 3 or 4. But if you go to the store by our house doesn't carry over ripened bananas, so I'd have to buy brand new ones and wait like a week and then make my banana bread. maybe the word.
Super cool.
Super cool. Yeah, and super cool.
I'm thinking of.
What's up, Zintech?
Oh, I was misremembering, but it's a combination of like black and orangey.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know which cat you're referring to.
Ah, your brunch was correct. The one I described was calico.
Calico. Mm.
Is the outhouse going to be usable?
Potentially depends what stray comes up with quest wise.
No.
Discord is dead. What?
Is it?
It's working for me.
I mean, we're talking in it, so it can't be that dead.
Yeah, exactly. I think Sploosh is dead, or his internet is, I should say.
Oh no, I am getting. If I try to go to some channels, it does tell me messages failed to load, so they must be having some sort of issue.
Yeah. But the voice chat, I guess, is working. I don't know.
Yeah, let's not just leave and rejoin. Maybe that ends badly.
How about the outhouse is the way to get into the witch house? Oh, it's a secret passage.
Someone's not had enough sewer infiltration yet.
Yeah. We could get
Just
another mini game.
we'll just reuse that one. It's perfect.
Yeah.
The status on the bowling minigame is.
The what? The bowling
Smokey asked what the
minigame?
status of the bowling minigame was.
Yeah, but the bowling minigame is gonna be awesome.
Is it though?
Well, I think so.
I don't disagree that bowling is awesome, but I don't see how a bowling minigame is awesome.
You just have to think positively. It's very
That's well
easy.
known for fixing everything.
It's very easy. You just gotta try it. Yeah. Think positive. It can happen. DC, where's Shrek? Good question. I mean, we were gonna do a Sasquatch maybe, so it's kind of Shrek-like.
This is a forest, not a swamp, though.
Wait, isn't Shrek an orc? What is he? An ogre.
Ogre.
I mean,
He's an ogre that lives in a swamp.
yeah. Could have been. Could have been an ogre there, I guess. Your Discord is tripping? Yeah, I think everybody uses. It's all tripping. Sexy lady Sasquatch in the forest, right? DC? Yeah, well, I think we dropped that idea for now. I don't think it's happening anymore. Fortunately. Unfortunately for who was it really for it? Oh, Sploosh was.
Sploosh was excited to write a Sasquatch.
Yeah, a hairy Sasquatch or female Sasquatch.
Is there any other kind?
Very bizarre, to be honest.
Can you wait? Now I'm desperately resisting the urge to Google bald Sasquatch.
Oh, hairless Sasquatch?
Is that a thing? Must be,
Maybe.
right?
What is that rule thing again you guys talked about?
The what, sorry?
The rule 34 or whatever? Or 42 or...
Oh yeah, Rule 34 is a thing.
Yeah, that thing.
But for that to apply, it has to exist. Do Sasquatches exist?
Oh. According to some weird shitty videos from the like 80s, yep.
Then it probably does. I'm definitely not going to go Google that. Sploosh says the axe seems out of place now.
Something like tripping or... Stay in your lane, boomer. Stay in your lane, boomer. God damn. What a boomer. What a boomer. Okay.
Sploosh, what would you have if not the axe now?
The axe? What do you mean? We're keeping the axe, no?
Well, Sploosh just mentioned in chat that he thought it seemed out of place now. So I asked him what he would put there instead.
Yeah. A pumpkin? A chainsaw?
The graveyard has enough pumpkins for the entire game at this point.
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here, alright, is... I'm debating how to actually do the walls in an efficient way. It's gonna be tricky.
It's going to be a pain in the ass for the different lighting conditions later as well.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, let me see. Let me see. If it's a log cabin, I'm going to start one log at a time. So I don't get too confused here. Because they're like intersected, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's try this. This is one. I'm just wondering how many times I can repeat them though.
Oh, because they're going to change angle and stuff, aren't they?
Well, ideally, what I would do, right, to keep things simple and sane and not me going crazy trying to like shade and design a log house that's structurally sound and looks like an actual functioning log house, is first of all I have to like, let's say I painted one log, right, like roughly even, like I don't even have to go too much in detail, but let's say I did something like this. Okay, now this is the end of it. Let's make it lighter. Okay, so let's say this is the end. This is the one end of my log, right? Now, I would kind of like stack those, like until it looks like, a proper wall, I guess. Okay. And we can like age that later, right? But as long as like this kind of feels right, I think we're good.
Mm-hmm.
But it has to follow perspective, obviously. So as I go up, I'm gonna have to shift it.
Do you not want to trim every other log?
Trim?
Oh, because the other wall will overlap it, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that after. It's fine.
Gotcha.
I'm just like, so my brain doesn't melt, like trying to figure this out. Like I have to go by like step pretty much. Otherwise, it's a little crazy. But yeah, so let's just take this. All right. So now we have kind of like a good base, but still need a little bit more. And I gotta go lower even. Okay, so I think I don't need this last log here. Okay, so this is my first wall, right? So let's say I do that. I'm gonna call this a. I'm gonna fix the top after. What I'm more worried about is like how the front connects, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm gonna do the same thing for the other side, but interlocking, right? So maybe I can even take this. Yeah, that looks right. And I can move on quickly.
What are we gonna make the roof out of? More logs or something
No,
else?
I think it's gonna be like those wood tiles, kind of, you know, wood shingles,
Uh,
and then they're gonna be
maybe.
overgrown with moss and shit like that, you know.
Yeah. I've never noticed the roof on log cabins before.
I think it depends. I mean, like old ones, I think I don't know. Usually it's like wood.
Yeah, some are timber, some seem to be. Some are just cheating and they're just like, fuck it, we'll just put corrugated metal on top.
Yeah, but
Some
that's
of
like
them are
a
actually like fully tiled and stuff as well.
yeah, but that's like modern cabins, like wooden cabins. Modern log cabins sometimes are yeah. But we're thinking this is old, you know, so it's like probably built with wood entirely.
Wood and magic.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I found the wood tiles you're talking about. Yeah, that seems the same.
And they're gonna be like overgrown with like moss and crap like that.
Yeah. I think the ship on the size of log has sailed at this point, Rice-Killer.
The what? Sorry.
Rice-Killer was saying that the older log cabins tend to use bigger logs, so maybe we should use bigger logs here. But I said, I
Uh,
think that ship's kind of sailed a bit.
yeah. Should have said that earlier. We're done with this. We're done. Okay, this look right. Some have straw on them. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, like there's different types. Wait, this doesn't look right.
It goes out of sync, like 3 from the top. Oh wait, no, it goes out of sync twice.
Wait, I'm gonna try to cheat it. No one's gonna notice the out of syncness. Only Stray will, but that's okay.
I know I should have paid less attention. Definitely won't always bug
See?
me now.
Beautiful, perfect. Nobody notices, nobody cares. Nobody notices or cares. Come on, it's fine. Okay, this is gonna be, yeah, something like that.
There should be one extra log poking out, I think, on the far side.
It's fine. You mean like at the very bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
Like
gonna be
under
covered with
casing.
plants and stuff.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Is going to be covered, so we don't care too much. Okay, that's the beginning. That's the base. We're gonna age it now and make it look crooked and all that, but I think that's a good base for it. Oh, the other side too. Shit, you're right. We have to do. Okay.
Or if the witch ends up being somewhere else, and so she's not home when you visit,
Yeah.
rather than leave the fire on and burn it all down.
Could happen.
Oh yeah, I guess it's like double the size of the rest of the ones.
You got to do feet in the oven. Oh yeah, for sure.
We're not putting feet in the oven, you weirdos.
Oh yeah.
See, now Sploosh is making me glad he can't get into voice chat right now. Don't need feet in the oven. Being mean. Now I'm gonna have to convince Sploosh to try and put his feet in the oven when he's drunk enough. It'll be great. What could go wrong? Zintek is asking, how do we get Ivy pregnant? Is it broken rubbers?
But right now I'm just figuring out the shapes of things and base color of everything. There's a lot going on. A lot going on. Okay. Color of
I'm
the
pretty sure you
door.
can milk a cat. Dizansu?
You can milk a cat?
Oh, I mean, they have young that feed off them and they produce milk because they're mammals, so I guess so.
Yeesh. I'll pass on the cat milk.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not signing up to try all that. Would you be more willing to try tiger or lion milk?
Yeah, because they're bigger. I feel like it's less creepy.
It's based on the size of the animal.
A little bit. A little bit, yeah. It definitely is a little bit.
Where's the cutoff then? What's the smallest animal you'd still consider the milk from?
Ugh, I don't know. I don't know.
I guess they have goat milk. Like
Yeah,
that's the
like
thing you
goat
can
is
buy.
pretty small, but
Yeah, it's not quite house cat small. Maybe that's alright. Wait, does that mean you can technically have mouse milk?
ugh. See, that's like
Yeah, that
animal.
sounds far worse. Ugh.
Like rat milk.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'll pass.
Yeah. You'd need so many rats as well.
Yeah, you have like a whole army of them and milk them all. So bizarre. I'm good. Bye.
See ya.
Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow to try and like finish as much as I can from this background. There's a lot of detail. We have to finish all the grass, all the mossy bits, all the vines, all the windows and doors, and everything. Like, this thing is gonna look cool once it's done. Right now, we're quite a bit away from it just because there's so much going on. But when we're done with this background, it will look cool. All right, it'll look awesome. But anyway, so we'll finally have the log cabin in Somerville's woods. All right. Take care. Have a good night, guys, and I'll be back tomorrow for another stream and try to complete this. Bye, guys.